Biedermann here from Jennifer Biedermann Jewelry. In this tutorial, we're going to bead this ring. I didn't finish it. I just started doing it. I said, oh, I'm going to do a tutorial right now because I'm really enjoying making it. And also I'm going for work on a conference. I'm going to Las Vegas, and today's the only day I can do this. So I thought I would go ahead and upload a video before I leave. This is going to be a fabulous ring. Look at that. You can use any colors you want. And the materials you'll need for this. I'm using a size 10, 2 colors. Size 10 delicas. You can use size 11 delicas. You can use seed beads. It doesn't matter. We're going to be doing a square stitch, so this is going to be a really strong piece. It's going to be very difficult for this to fall apart for sure because of the square stitch. So, but I'm using size 10. I'm also going to be using size 15. It's a galvanized bright silver. Did I tell you what color this was? This is a nickel-plated matte delica, and this is a white pearl. Okay, and of course the bicones. For the bicones, in the piece, I'm using a 3mm. Now, also, I'm using a size 10 beading needle. You can use a size 12. I would probably recommend a 12 because I'm using these 15s that I'm gonna have to go in and out of a few times. And another tool that I consider this a tool is my No More Oops bead tray. This separates my beads. I love it. It's a tool. I consider it like a needle, beads, scissors. I always have it when I'm doing projects. No More Oops bead tray, lakesidejewelry.etsy.com. You will, if you want to purchase this, go there and you'll put a coupon code in there. The coupon code is JBJ219. That's for February only. She gives you a free, beautiful peyote pattern when you buy her tray. And like I said, you're not just going to use this once. This is going to be a tool. So I recommend this a lot. And that's it. So if you want to go ahead and bead along with me, get your materials together, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so what we're going to start with, you're going to pick up whatever color you're using, but I'm using the white, one white. Hold on a second. I picked up 6 of my nickel-plated matte and 1 white. You will bring this down your thread. Now, I'm not using a stopper bead. You could if you wanted to, but because this is square stitch, that stopper bead won't need it at the end. Okay, so now we're going to start by picking up a white, and this is starting the square stitch. So I'm just going to be careful that my beads don't fly off. Picking up a white delica, I'm going to go through this delica this way, pull, being very careful that nothing flies off. I'll hold it with my fingers here. And what you'll do, don't worry about them going up. It doesn't have to be perfect right now. You just want to make sure that bead sits right next to it. And that sound you hear in the background is my German Shepherd Frankie eating, and he seems to always do that when I'm videotaping. Okay, so now I'm going to go back up this bead and pull. And what I'm doing with my other hand, I'm just holding that thread so that these beads don't fall off. So again, if you're more comfortable putting a stopper bead, go ahead and do that. Okay, so I put on my first bead. The second bead is going to be my second color, which is the nickel plated. So I'm going to pick up that one. And what I'm doing is I went through that bead. So the second bead is going to be the next one right above it. Right like that. because it's going to start to build and you're going to have a lot more to hang on to, and it's going to be a lot easier. Get that bead to sit properly, and then you're going to go back up that bead. He's crunching away, Frankie. Okay, so now we have this. Now the next portion, okay, is we're going to start picking up some bicones. So I'm going to pick up 115, a 3 millimeter Swarovski, a 15, a 3 millimeter, a 15. So I'm picking up 3 15s and 2 bicones, and then I'm going to pick up my nickel plated here, the dark color. And what I'm going to do, because look what's going to happen. Look, I'm going to just bring this down my thread. This is going to sit right next to those beads like that. So now the square stitch I'm doing is I'm just going to do on the last gray. I'm going to call it gray. I'm not going to call it nickel plated. It's a lot of words to use. And pull through carefully. And you're going to go back up that gray bead. Okay, hang on to my beads here. Let me move this out of the way. Okay, so now we have this. And now the last bead for the row, I'm going to pick up my white. And my white, I'm going to go, see the last bead that's on its own there, I'm going to go through that one. Like that. Pull ever so gently. The first couple of rows are really fiddly, is my word that I use. And then you're going to go back up the bead. Okay, so now we have 2 rows on. Now at this point, what you're going to do, I'm going to flip this back. I'm going to go back up the first set of beads I put on. So right through those. Make sure you go through all the beads, because when I go through, you'll see, hold on. I'm just going to flip it, make sure that I didn't miss any beads, and sew through. And now I'm going to go up the beads I just put on. Being very careful to go through all those beads. Like that. Now the next round, so now we have this. We're going to continue with our square stitch. So now I'm at a white. I'm going to pick up a white. And here I'm going to go back through that bead. So it's going to sit right next to it as I pull. Just like that. And then go up that bead. You'll pick up the gray, and you're going to go down the gray. Just that bead like that. And back up that bead. Now, here on this piece, I put a series of 50 O's. Why did I do that? Because when I made another piece, I found the bicones, it was really bowing out. So I needed to add another row of something else. So now I'm going to pick up 8 15s. So 1, 2, 8 15s and a gray delica. And what you're going to do is you're going to pass these beads and you're going to go through this gray delica coming from here to here. Just like that. Pull through. And all these beads are sitting now next to each other. Now we're going to go back up just that delica. The next bead, we are picking up the white delica. We're going to go through this delica like this and back up that white. Okay, so now what we want to do is reinforce. So I'm going to turn my work and I'm going to go, so I'm coming out of this white, I'm going to go back up through my beads, which is the bicones. And I'm using a size 10 needle. I should have used a size 12, but here we are. I'm going to get my pliers. Just see, that's why you need a size 12, because look, I need to do that with my pliers. And pull, and I'm going to go through all those beads. If you can't go through them all, don't worry about it. And I always get my pliers and pull my needle. Up that 15. And those 2 delicas. And pull. And now I'm flipping my work, so I'm coming out of here and I'm going to go back up through my 2 delicas and all the 15s and up to the end. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to just, before I pull my needle through, I'm just going to check to make sure I went through all those beads. Okay, so now we start the next step. We're picking up a white. You know what? I'm going to move in. It's too close. Sorry. I just want you guys to see what I'm doing. Picking up that white, I'm going back through the white this way. 1 bead. It's going to sit right next there. Go back up that bead. Next, I'm picking up a gray. I'm going to go down through that gray. And back up the gray. Now my next series of beads is going to be the bicones. So I'm picking up a 15, a bicone, a 15, a bicone, and a 15. So 3 15s, 2 bicones. And, of course, the gray delica. And now what we're doing, we're going to pass all these beads. We're going to go down this gray delica. And pull. And everything's going to sit right next to each other, like that. Now we're going back up that gray bead. And we're going to put on the white. So let's do that white. Now we're going down that white delica, just the white. Pull. pull. That's going to sit right next to it, and you're going to go back up that white. And you're going to continue this until you have enough just to cover your finger. Now, my finger is not a size 4. My finger is a size 8.5. So if you're a size 4, maybe it's only going to be 3. You know what I mean? So just add, you want it to be just to sit right on top like that. That's how many bicones you're putting. So, and we'll be back, and I'm going to show you, we're going to end up doing the band, and I'll be back. Okay, so now that I've done my strip that will fit just on top of my finger, like this, isn't that pretty? Now I'm coming out of this white, so I'm going to pick up a white, 6 grays, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a white, just like we did when we started. And what we're going to do is we're going to go down the white, like this. And that's going to sit right next to that. And we're going to go back up this white. And we're going to reinforce by just flipping our work, going back up the beads, the bicones here that we have. Checking the other side, went through all the beads. And I'm going to go back up these beads. And then we're going to start the square stitch on every single bead here. So now we have this. And the band, you're going to decide how large you want it. Okay, so the white, we're picking up a white. And we're doing one bead at a time now. So go down the white. Go up the white. Up a gray, go down 1 gray, and then up the gray. And do that on every bead. Up the gray, pick up a gray, go down the gray right next to it, just like that. And up the gray. Whoops, that's my puppy talking. Down the gray and up that gray. Pick up a gray, down that gray, and up the gray. And pull. Oops, now I have this thread here. Just make sure that, pay attention to that. I'm going down a gray and up the gray that I just added. Pick up a gray, down the next gray right here, and up that gray bead. And my last bead is a white, so I'm going to pick up a white. Pick up a white, go down the white, and up that white. Now here we're going to reinforce everything. We want everything nice and tight. So I'm coming out of this white, I'm going to flip my work. I'm going to go back up these beads right next to it. Again, just checking the other side, make sure I went through those beads. Go through and then back through these beads. All of them. And you're going to continue this until, I'm going to continue for my size finger until the other end, okay? And then I'm going to show you what to do over here. Okay, so let's say you're making this for someone else and it's not your finger. Maybe your finger is size 4 and someone else is a size 10. So you want, if you're making this for someone else, just put this around a ring mandrel and you'll see the numbers. Here, you won't see it because this is really well used, but it'll say 8, 7, 6, 5, and you just put it around where you want it, and that's where you're going to stop. Okay? So let me work on the band. I'll be back, and we're going to finish this gorgeous ring up. I love these colors. I'll be right back. Okay, so now that I have my size that I have determined for the finger that I want, now we're going to close this up by continuing the square stitch. We're not adding any more beads. We're just going to close this up like this, and see, I'm coming out of here. I'm going to go down this bead just like we've been doing, and it's a little bit tight. I'm going to go down this bead. Okay, pull. A little bit tight for me to get that through. I'm going to get my pliers and just pull it. And then we're going to go back up this one. Oops. Go back up the bead. And close that up. Now what I'm going to do is go down that bead again. So I just want to reinforce everything. It may be difficult for me to get through. Oh, no, it's good. And back up that bead and the second bead. Okay. And we're just going to do our square stitch all the way up. So I'm going to go down that bead right next to it. Take your time, and now, okay. So go down that bead, pull, and back up that bead. And the next bead. So, again, we just need to be careful here because, like I said, it's tight. So I'm going up this, whoops. Up that bead. And the next bead. Okay, pull, and I'm going to go right across to the opposite bead. See my threads coming out here? So I'm going to go down that bead. Taking my time, and then back and pull, and then back up that bead and this and the next bead right on top. So we just got to get ourselves in there and then right in the next bead. And we're going to do that all the way to the top. Pull. And we're going to go down this bead, the one bead, and then back up just to cinch everything up. And like we've been doing before, reinforce your rows. So that was the last one. Now, because I'm coming out of here, I'm going to go back down all these beads that, pull, and then back up these beads and pull. Now, to tie off your thread, what do? We need to tie some knots. So what I do is I look at my thread bridge that's around here, and I'm just going to go under the thread bridge that's here, right next to there. I'm going to pull and go through that thread and pull. That's this off. So there you have it. So if you like this tutorial, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, because I always put up new tutorials of designs that I come up with. And I hope I'm able to inspire you to create your own jewelry. I love it. Thanks for watching. See you at the next tutorial. Bye for now.